And we are live. Hello, this is Stephen in wonderful Wiltshire, and we're getting ready to go. I'm just going to put that in there. Connect, and it's gone green. Good. Right. Okay. Now this is the two-part process. So I'm going live on Facebook and YouTube. Hello, Facebook and YouTube, and I'm also going live on Amazon Live, and that's the bit I'm about to do now. And go live on Amazon Live. And we have a connection, and we've got a connection with 23 seconds to go. That's good. Okay, this camera is my OBSpot 4K camera, which is mounted on top of my BenQ monitor. Both are down in the carousel. This is a view out across my neighbour's gardens. And as you can see, it's a gentle breeze, and it is a beautiful sunny day here in Wiltshire, in England, as we say goodbye to the intro card and hello to me. So welcome to the broadcast from Stephen, live from England. Thank you for joining me today. I am not a Logitech Brio. I'm going to take that off, but you are watching a Logitech Brio camera, which we're going to talk about first. But the sun's arrived in England. Absolutely amazing. And I want to say thank you to my first viewer on Amazon Live. Now, there are over 2,000 Amazon Live broadcasters, and I'm one of 6 English people. I know people from my friends from South Africa, from Portugal, from Australia, and we're all grateful to be here. We are independent. We don't work for Amazon. I own over 75% of what's in the carousel. You can ask a question about any item in the carousel whilst I'm live, even if it doesn't have to be the one I'm showing. Now, I'm going to try and make my way through everything in the carousel during the course of this live broadcast. We're going to start with Logitech Brio camera, and then we'll go on to my latest acquisition, which is a Samsung S22 Galaxy Ultra. Well, yeah, okay, we'll be talking about the new mobile phone. I'll be showing you video and photographs taken with the phone. But everything live broadcasting starts with the camera. And my favorite camera is the one I'm using now. I'm actually using to broadcast out live to you this camera. And I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. So you're actually watching now the Logitech Brio 4K webcam. Now I've got other cameras, but this is my favorite camera. And the reason I got this camera is because of the 4K bit. There. Okay. I'm broadcasting to you in 720. 1080 is the next step up, and 4K is through the roof. And the higher the number, the better the quality of the image, and therefore the better it looks to anybody who's actually watching. Now, because of internet restrictions, I cannot broadcast you in 4K. We don't have the infrastructure to do that. But if you get a 4K camera now, you can broadcast out, and this is why I got it. You can broadcast out to YouTube in 4K, and you can watch the replay in 4K. The difference is night and day. 720, 1080, 4K. It blew me away. It really did. The quality of the video. Now, I couldn't use the studio I'm in at the moment, but I could use OBS or vMix or XSplit Broadcaster, and I can use the 4K camera, the Logitech Brio out the box, and broadcast live to YouTube. Now, a number of places we can broadcast to is going to increase, but I can say without fear of contradiction that YouTube is the place to broadcast to right now. So a little bit more about the camera, and as I say, you're actually watching it. It is Ultra 4K HD video. It has a noise cancelling microphone. So not only is it a camera, it also has twin microphones and noise cancellation built in. Now, this is important. If you're on a Zoom call or you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, and your dog barks, if you don't have noise cancellation, everybody will hear your dog barking, which can be annoying. If you've got a noise cancelling microphone, the only person to hear the dog will be you. So noise cancellation, so that the only thing that can be heard is your voice. So you won't hear the dog, won't hear any noises going on around you. Now, cameras have inbuilt light auto correction. The one on the Brio is high definition, And if I switch my light off, you'll see that I've gone darker. Now, I've gone darker because I've turned the light off, but you can still see me. You can still see me because the Brio, which is up above me, I'm going to show you where it's placed later. Brio up above me is doing light correction. I'm going to switch the light back on because that's basically, this is my studio. I need lighting. It's got a wide field of view. Now, it is in actual fact, I was struggling with how to actually demonstrate this. It has a 90-degree field of view, so it can see, if I come down there, 90 degrees from the corner at the top going down. Okay, that's its field of view. Not to push the point, but it is a 4K camera with 4 times the resolution of a typical HD webcam. The webcams I'm going to show you, only 2 of them have got 4K. The majority of webcams do 720 and 1080. Those are the standard resolutions we actually use. The higher the number, the better the quality of the picture. Okay, and you'll see this next up. Now, what I'm going to do in 2 or 3 minutes time is I'm going to show you the software that controls all Logitech cameras with the exception of the Mevo. And I'll show you how to operate the software and why whenever you get a Logitech camera, whenever you get a camera, you should download the software. And we say hello to Corinda, my good friend from London. And Corinda is saying he's just bought a Samsung too. Brilliant. Well done, Corinda. Corinda's bought the Samsung Galaxy S22. So congrats on that. Enjoy using it. It is a brilliant camera or a mobile phone. Right, the next feature is, we've just done this one, but I'll reiterate it. Auto light adjustment, and it's called Logitech Bright Light. Okay, now the camera has 3 fields of view. It's got the 90 degrees, which we saw earlier, the 90 degrees. Yeah, it also tightens up to 78 or 65. I'm going to show you what that means in a minute when I show you some software. I'll show you the software now. It goes up to 90 frames per second. Now I'm broadcasting out to you at 30 frames per second, which is the standard for webcams and web software. If you're using OBS or vMix or XSplit Broadcast, you could go up to 90 frames per second. The more frames per second, the clearer the picture, the better the quality of the picture. And when it says frames per second, what's actually happening technically is that it's sending 90 photographs per second over the internet. If it says 30 FPS, it's sending 30 photographs. The more photographs sent per second, the better the quality of the video. So let's come to Corinda. And Corinda is saying, also brought the new Surface from Amazon. Well done, Corinda. You have been having a spending spree. Okay. So brilliant. Microsoft Surface and Samsung phone. Right, now, these 3 fields of view are important. Also important is if you get a camera, is download the software. Now, there's a piece of software, put the phone down. There's a piece of software called Logitech Capture. And you go to logitech.com, type in Logitech Capture, you can download the software. And it's important that you do. Let me explain. So I'm going to screen share now, and I'm going to bring in, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to bring in the software. 3, 2, 1. We've got it. Okay, so I'm going to bring the software up on screen, and here we go. Right, this is the software. Now I'm going to give you a main view. Basically, at the top here, I can go up and down. I can go left and right. I can zoom in and zoom out. I can change the field of view from 65 to 78 to 90. I can turn on HDR if I want it, and I can have the image widescreen if I wish. Now, let's put the software next to me. Okay, and I can switch my second camera off. I can switch my first camera on. Okay, and you've already seen the card. Just a quick reminder that today's show, we're talking about webcams, audio gear, microphones, and live video and Fitbits. If you've got any questions, then please do ask. This service is free, provided by Amazon.com. We are all independent broadcasters. And did I say the service is free? Okay. And you can ask many questions. I mean, I use this software every day. I broadcast every day. I'm live on Amazon Live at 11 a.m. Eastern every single weekday. I do take the weekends off, especially this weekend, because this weekend is going to be a sunny weekend. So let's go side by side. And basically, I want to go widescreen for both of those so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. Okay, so if I put these side by side now, you will see that if I go up or down, I can do it just using the buttons. Always, of course, coming back to where I started from. But I want to go side by side here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, wait a minute, let's just wait for Corinda. This may or may not be related to what I'm talking about, but we'll wait for it. It should be through in 1 second. I have a question about Logitech. Mine's a white one. How do I get it grey like your... I have a question about my Logitech. Mine is a white one. How do I get it grey and like your... I don't know. You've flummoxed me there because you just said grey. If you're relating to the software, then you're catching me out again. I'm showing Logitech Capture's little brother. Okay, this is not actually, this is basically, you can download, this is easier to demonstrate, Corinda. We've had this question before. Okay, now you can see that I've got the controls, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out twice. Now, question before this, do you think that I am sat in front of a brick wall? Yes or no? Answers in the comments, please. Right, okay. Now, it wouldn't take long to work out that I'm not sat in front of a brick wall. What would take a lot longer to work out is the fact if I zoom out and I zoom out again and I go to 90 degrees, this is how I actually look. And this is the default camera settings. Yeah. If you get the Logitech Brio camera, you can just plug it in. It will work straight away. Millions have been sold. But this is the default camera settings. And a lot of people use this. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you've got the Logitech Capture software, yeah, you can change it. You can change how you look on screen. Literally, I can click once, twice, 3 times, and just in 3 clicks, I'm back to where I want to be. That's it. That's what the software does. It gives you control over the camera so that you're not basically locked in to the default camera view. Yeah, I mean, you can see the Samsung Galaxy all-in-one. Sorry, Samsung all-in-one PC used to be. There it is, over there. I wish they still made them. And you can see my book collection, including my German language books. And you can see the backdrop behind me, which I'll explain later. And it's right. It's a wall, but it's not a wall. It's actually a photography backdrop, which I'll show you later. But the reason it's curved is that the best way I could find is to actually put it over the top of a green screen. So the curve is of the green screen, which is overlaid on, if you know what I mean. Okay. But the thing is that when you are presenting on Facebook or Zoom or YouTube or Twitter or Twitch, you want to look at your best. You want to be able to have total control of the camera and how you look. So I've looked at 90 degrees. This is 78 degrees. And if I go to 65 degrees, you'll notice, I'm too big. I'm much too big. So I'm going to go out to 78 degrees. I'm happy. And this is the whole point of having the software, is that you've got total control over your camera. Yeah. And I can, as we've seen, he said, going over to the software, I can go left, I can go right, I can go up, I can go down. probably the other way around. I can change the field of view, and then on the advanced tab, I can change the brightness. So I could go really bright and come back again. The default is always 50. So if you forget it, just put it back to 50. I could go bright red, and sometimes I do, but not that red. Again, I could go sepia. Okay, and then I can go into the middle like that. And again, we're talking about being 50%. Okay, so what I'm saying is, when you buy, brilliant. Okay, when you buy, I'm coming back to me. You can get the software to control any Logitech camera by going to logitech.com, searching for Logitech Capture, and download it. It will recognize your camera straight away. There's no problem with that. And you can then take control. Yeah. If you buy a camera, if you buy a microphone, if you buy anything electrical that's controlled by software, download the software. You paid for the hardware. The software is totally free. There's no reason not to. And once you've got the software, you can take control. And what I do is I sit down, because I broadcast 5 times a week, 11 a.m. Eastern on Amazon Live. And I've got to check my studio out. So on a Sunday night, I sit down, I check all the camera settings to make sure that they're right and that I feel happy on screen. As far as feeling happy on screen is concerned, you want to be the following, even on a Zoom call. Yeah. You want to be in the center of the screen, roughly in the center of the screen, looking at the camera. Yeah. That's the most persuasive way to be, because if you look at the camera, it seems to the person watching you, you're looking directly at them. And I'll talk about a different way of doing that as we proceed with this. Position yourself in the center of the screen. Make sure you've got headroom. I've seen too many people on Zoom calls who cut off their forehead. This is not a good look. So do have, technical term is headroom, just have room above your head and everybody's happy. And the next thing is, we all use hand gestures, okay? But the worst thing you can do for the planet is to shake your hands whilst you're live. I mean, don't do that. You actually, if you don't do it, then you're saving trees, because every time, we talked about 30 frames per second, yeah, the data transfer rate. What happens is the system takes 30 pictures every second and sends them, and they're reassembled at the other end so that you see a moving picture. You see my lips moving. Every second, an image is shot, 30 is shot and sent over and then reassembled at the other end, which is why the higher the number of frames, the better. But if you sit still, yeah, then the picture doesn't change and it's a lot easier on the system. As soon as you start moving your hands, then more frames need to be sent and reassembled. You know where I'm going with this. So put your hands down, save trees. Okay, let's get on with the comments and come over to Corinda. And Corinda's saying, have a question. Right, that was because I'm using a different version of software. And next question from Corinda. Yeah, I know. I hope I've succeeded in answering that. We say hello to. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to try and pronounce your name, sir. Zulkanin Holder. Welcome and welcome to the broadcast. I'm actually live on Amazon Live. If you click the link up above, you can actually come and join me on Amazon Live. And to everybody who's watching me on Amazon Live, I'd just like to say thank you. Oh, wow. And a big thank you to John Jackson, who's just started following. Appreciate it. Means a lot. It increases my credibility with Amazon. Okay. And it means that you can find me easily. So thank you for that. Thank you for the follow. It does mean a lot. Right. So we've looked at the software that controls the Logitech camera, and we are talking about the Logitech 4K webcam. Remember, you can use it out the box on Windows or Mac, and you can go direct to YouTube in 4K using OBS vmix or XSplit vcam. Okay, now just to catch up, it's got versatile mounting options. It can go on top of your desk, and I'll show you that in a second. Well, I'll show you that now. Just a minute. Let me go to my cameras, and I just need to go to settings. Okay, and let me check this out. I'll show you how it's mounted. Okay, so I'm going to change my second camera. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, and I need to make one adjustment here. And I'm going to go to camera number 2, and I'm going to go to the BenQ monitor. Okay, I'm going to bring that up on screen. Not that. I'm going to bring this up on screen. Okay. There, I need to do something. Just a minute. Technical thing. Just a second. We'll get there. Just right. Okay. Right. Okay. It has versatile mounting options in general with the camera, and that is the Brio you're actually watching now. It's on a mount which goes onto your monitor or on your desktop, PC or Mac. Next to that is the Ultraspot camera. We're going to be looking at that. And next to that is the Logitech Litra Lite. So that's how my desktop is actually set up. That's my monitor. It's the BenQ monitor down in the carousel. It's 27-inch monitor. Yeah. And if I come over here, the other way you can actually mount just a minute. The other way you can actually mount a camera is to actually mount it on top of a tripod. I'll show you this in this broadcast. But basically, in the bottom of a camera, let's get one of the cameras we're going to show later. In the bottom of the camera, hopefully you can see that there is a thread. Yeah. And you can use that thread to actually mount it on a tripod. So you can either have a camera like so, yeah, or you can mount it on a tripod using the thread on the bottom. And that's how this camera is mounted. Now, the thing about a tripod, using a tripod, and this tripod is down the carousel. If you swish along a bit, you'll find it. The thing about mounting let me just show you. If I'm, no, I want to go here. Thank you. No. Patience. Okay. Slow down. I'm going to count to 5. Are you with me? Right. When I'm sat here, I've got to look up at the camera. Okay. So I'm looking up. And the problem with that is that doing that is a learned skill, because naturally what you'd want to do is look at the monitor. Yeah. This is my broadcasting studio, by the way, is to actually look at the monitor. And that means you're not looking at the camera. And if you're not looking at the camera, you're not looking at people watching. So you've got to make a conscious effort to actually look upwards to the camera. Whereas if you put the camera, here, if you put the camera, just a second, what's going on here? We're having fun today. It's Friday. It must be the weekend. If you put the camera on a tripod, then there are no such problems, because the camera I'm looking into now is at eye level. So it is straight from my eyes to the camera lens. So I don't have to look up. I don't have to look down. I can just look directly at the camera and know that I'm in the right place. If I look at the camera, I don't need to do anything else. I can look at the camera. This is the beauty that I discovered. I can actually look at the camera and I can have my iPad, and you can't see it. And I can use my iPad whilst I'm talking. Yeah. And you don't see it. You just see me on camera and you see me looking directly at you. Now, this is a learned skill, but I'm going to say that if you want to try it out, put your camera on a tripod instead of on top of your monitor or on top of your PC or Mac. Try it on a tripod. And down in the carousel, he said, looking for it, just a second, is tripod. The phone tripod down in the carousel at the moment as a featured item is $15.98, which is 11% off. So you can get a tripod for $16, and then you can try out mounting your camera on the tripod. Okay, and again, thank you to John for the follow. Right, so that is the Logitech Brio. It's $158.47, which is 21% off. And I've had this 2 years, no problems with it. It works out the box, and it is a very good high quality camera. As we know, Logitech are a Swiss company with bases in the USA. And they, well, just a minute, Alexa, who are Logitech?
According to Wikipedia, Logitech International SA is a Swiss multinational manufacturer of computer peripherals and software, with headquarters in Lausanne, Switzerland, and Newark, California. The company has offices throughout
Alexa, stop.
Asia.
Okay. Right. So just come back to me for a second. And back to the Brio. Back to me. Okay. Logitech, Swiss company whose headquarters in the US. Right. So the camera that you're looking at is the Logitech Brio, released Feb 7th, 2017. I've no doubt that it's been reworked since then. Logitech Capture is the software that you download, and I am using a photography backdrop. Now let's just go to the carousel, because when we did this a moment ago, okay, let's do this again. Okay, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go to the photography backdrop, because I know it's here somewhere. Right. When I broadcast live, I use a green screen, yeah? And the green screen is behind me. And for months, I was on Amazon Live broadcasting with a green screen. I thought, well, I need to change things. I need to change the way I look on screen, because you don't want the same all the time. Green background is good, very clear, and it works. I thought, and I saw my friend Grant Saunders, who's also an Amazon Live broadcaster, a Mancunian. That means he's from Manchester. And he was using a brick wall. I thought, right, okay, I'll use a brick wall, because, well, copying is the sincerest form of flattery. My brick wall is different to his brick wall. So I sent off for a photography backdrop, went to Amazon, typed in photography backdrop, and I saw this wall behind me. I thought, right, that's the wall that I want. But I thought, I'm not going to get a stand because I don't have room to put a stand up. So I draped it over the top of the green screen. And that works quite well, because as you see, when I zoom in a minute, you can't see anything that's around me. You can just see me in the wall. So I'm a great believer in photography backdrops. The other thing is that if I come back to the proper me, the real me, is that whilst I'm broadcasting Amazon Live, I can't use a green screen, or I can't use background removal software. If I did, what happens is, if I show you the Samsung Galaxy S22, which I'm going to do in a minute, then the phone, the mobile phone, would actually disappear in the background. Whereas with a solid wall behind me, well, I say solid, it's almost solid, I can actually show you items on the screen. You can see them. Yeah. Yeah. That's the other thing about appearing big screen like I do. I can show you the full size of this 6.8-inch Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Okay, so that's why I've got a backdrop. That's the backdrop I chose. It's down in the carousel at the moment, and I recommend it. Right, okay. Now we come to my favoriteest item in the carousel. 10 days ago, I bought a Samsung Galaxy. Well, I'll give you its official title. If I come down here, okay, we are talking now about the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra smartphone, which is down in the carousel. It's $1144.49, which is 12% off. Okay, what I'm going to do, just a slight change, just give me a minute. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to change themes. Okay, and shrink the type because the type was too big. Okay, so we're looking at the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra smartphone, and this is it. I'm just going to switch it on, and I'll set it as a thumbprint. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to go here. I'm going to turn the volume down. I'm going to change themes. Nope, I want to turn the volume down. Set it as a thumbprint. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to right. Sorry about that. That was me. But this is me live on the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, and this is the picture that's actually being seen on Amazon and on Facebook, and I just love the clarity of the picture. Now if I take that phone down, and there is a delay between here and Facebook, so when I take the phone down I should be able to bring it back and show you how clear the picture is. Okay, and I'm impressed by that. I mean, you've got some reflections in there, but hopefully you can get an idea of how high a quality the display is. And let me just go here, and I'm just going to go here, okay, and here, and just go there. Right, okay, on with the features. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the features of this phone. Then I'm going to show you some photographs taken with this phone, and then I'm going to show you a video made with this phone. And it will speak for itself. Okay, it's the 256 gigabyte 8K camera. Now, when we talked about the Brio camera a moment ago, that's 4K. This is 8K. So the camera on here is better than your webcam, even if your webcam is 4K. It's got the brightest display. Now, if I go here, okay, and I go here, going past everything and out to the window, okay, you can see it's Alexa, what's the temperature?
At the moment, it's 25 degrees Celsius.
Right.
Tonight, you can expect a low of 12 degrees.
So it's currently 25 degrees Celsius, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, I was sat out for lunch earlier today, and I was able to read because it does have the brightest display that I've seen on a phone, because I could just go over to, let's go back one. I can go over to here and I can just scroll and read Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or Twitch. Very fast scroll, as you can see, 4G, 5G, and very responsive. So I'm going to go back till I get my video, because I need that in a moment. So I'm going to leave that there. Okay. And on to the next feature. Now, do you remember the Galaxy Note? Okay. The Galaxy Note was famous for the S Pen, and then they stopped the Note. Right. The Galaxy S Pen is back. It's embedded in the phone itself, and I'll show you how in a moment. But it means that I can, using the S Pen, I can say, just waiting for it to catch me up. And I just need to practice my writing so that you can actually read it. But I can write "Hello Amazon," and it's fairly legible. I'm practicing. So you can write with a pen. There are apps already on the phone. You can add more. Yeah. In addition to that, this can do air gestures. It doesn't have to be in contact. It can do air gestures. It's great for actually navigating anything on the phone. It's also brilliant as basically doing the air gestures. So you can set the camera up and then you can do an air gesture to actually take the photograph. So S Pen is back. The phone itself has got a long battery life. If you charge it overnight, it's good for 24 hours plus. And that's if you're watching videos all day long or recording videos all day long, like I tend to do. Now, I'm going to show you a video in a few minutes, 8K super steady video. So again, 8K. Super steady. The phone has a built-in stabilizer, which means that when you're walking around and you're going like that, as your gait carries you along, then the phone will stabilize the image. I'm going to show you that in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. Right. The phone does have nightography. Nightography is a Samsung made-up word for taking photographs at night. Now, I've got to be like you. I'm going to say that I did not expect this. This is nightography. This is taking a photograph at night. This photograph was taken with the Samsung Galaxy S22 at 11 o'clock at night. The only lights you can see are 4 small lights, which came from Amazon. And I couldn't see any of this, but I took the picture, and that is the picture. Well, I'm just blown away by the quality of it, because it's 11 o'clock at night. It is pitch black everywhere else, but it took that photograph. So nightography is a real thing. I'm here to tell you that nightography is real. So although the word might not exist, the technology does. So I'm impressed by the quality of that. Staying with the phone, it's got a 10 on the back. Just let me do this. It'd be better if I put the S Pen down. Okay, on the back you have 5 lenses, 108 megapixels. It's got a 3 times zoom, a 10 times zoom, and the nightography lens as well. Okay, so 108, which is to my mind a good number. It's got an adaptive color contrast, which I used when I was out in bright sunlight, and it does look well. I've just mentioned it's got a long-lasting battery, which is plus fast charging. It's got the embedded S Pen, which you've just seen. This is a good point to say that if you take the S Pen out and you're actually working with it and writing notes, yeah, then you can. Well, if I went in another room and left the pen behind, I get a message on the phone which says you've left your S Pen behind, which I think, well, I like it. I think I'll need it. So I'm going to put the S Pen back in there, and it stores just by going like that, and it's back in. Okay. The phone is unlocked by Samsung, so no messing about. You can go straight to your favorite carrier, get the SIM card, plug it in. The phone itself is 6.8 inches. It's got an edge screen, which I quite like, and you either do or you don't. It's got 120 megahertz refresh rate, which steps down to 1, depending on what you're actually doing. As far as charging is concerned, it will be 5,000 milliamps, 45-watt charging if you get the external brick, or it'll be wireless charging at 15 watts. Now, if the wattage drops, then charging takes longer, and it can also do wireless power share. The rear camera, as I just said, 108 megapixels. The front camera, 40 megapixels. So very high quality. And the phone itself was released on February 9th, 2022. Now, I'm becoming somewhat famous or infamous, depends which way you look at it, for actually playing you a video shot with the camera. But before I do that, I just want to show you a couple of photographs taken with the camera. And I live in Devizes in Wiltshire. And this is a picture taken with the S22. So this picture was taken with the S22. Image taken with the Samsung S22 Ultra. Another image is this one. Okay, I took this photograph yesterday. This is the Crammer, which is local to where I live. It's just around the corner, and this, to my mind, is a beautiful photograph. The quality, and I wish I could actually zoom in for you, but you can zoom in on the ducks, you can zoom in on the cars, on the full picture, because we can't do total justice while we're here. And then the other image, in well, later this year, the Commonwealth Games will be held in Birmingham. And there is a baton which has been taken all around the world through all the Commonwealth countries. And on Wednesday, that baton came to Devizes. And the idea is the baton came to Devizes, also went to Stonehenge and to Bath, and it will finish up in Birmingham just before the games actually start. And our town square in Devizes was packed to see the baton relay leave Devizes and head off towards Stonehenge. And again, the quality of the photograph taken with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. I just love the quality of the photographs. So back to me. So those images were actually taken with this very phone, Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Now, I said earlier, if I go up here, that the phone does do 8K super steady video. What I'm about to do now is play you a super steady video. And this was the first one I actually shot. So, and I'm becoming quite famous now. Just a minute. Let me hide that. Don't need that anymore. And I just need to find what I'm looking for. And once I've found it, I will show it to you. Yes, that's it. Okay. So this is 8K super steady video. This is a film shot in our garden. I'm going to switch my microphone off and press play. I'll be back in 2 minutes. This is my first video with the Samsung S22 Ultra, and we're in the garden on a beautiful sunny day. It's about 31 degrees, and let's take a walk down the path and see what we can find. Okay, now what I'm checking is the sound quality and also the video quality. So let's see how this works. So I can pan round. Okay, and I'm going to go onto the grass, and this is our newer wildflower garden, and the right hand side is taking off slowly, but the left hand side is firmly established. As I go round again and down the garden. Okay, Angelica put a lot of work into getting the garden into the state it's in, and I want to take you down now to the new table and chairs that we've got. Chairs are covered up to protect them because, as you can see, we are out in the countryside and birds can actually fly over, which is not a good idea. But this is our brand new table, and we saw it in the local garden centre and thought, let's have that. So we did, we bought it. Okay, now over here is our wild animal enclosure, and if I go around the corner we should see, hopefully they're camera friendly, but if I go around here we should be able to see, hello, the chickens, hello. Okay, and we've got 4 chickens in total. They're all rather camera shy, yeah, and they're turning away from the camera. They know what's going on, they know they're being filmed, apart from the one who's going to be a star someday. Okay, and this is an igloo, which is where they live, and it's very easy to maintain. Chickens are easy to maintain, and we're actually currently getting 4 eggs a day, and the chickens were rescue chickens. In other words, they had been kept for their egg laying. After 2 years they let the chickens go, and then the chickens have got to be rehoused, and we actually managed to get hold of 4. So these are all about the same age and will go on for 2 or 3 years laying eggs for us, and we're currently getting 25 eggs a week, which is absolutely brilliant. Right, just now I'm impressed by that video. First, you'll notice that as I move up and down, I was going down a path. The image keeps relatively steady. Okay, and I was using the internal microphone on the phone. Okay, so I was using the internal microphone. That's the quality of the microphone that is built in. And well, I'm happy with that video. I mean, I do a lot of mobile videoing, and I'm going to be using this phone throughout the summer to do exactly that. And I'm just making sure as I come back here, just a second. I'm just making sure I've got sound. Okay, oh, two. Right, so that's how the video looks on this video that you're watching now is actually live on Facebook too. And I'm going to go picture in picture in picture in picture. So the quality of videos created, the quality of videos you actually watch on the S22 is very high. And I'm hopefully proving that to you now. I'll put the phone down and I'll hide that. I'll turn my volume down because I know I've got sound. So going back to the beginning, on the Samsung S20, this is the official title, Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra is down in the carousel, and the price today is $1144.49, which is 12% off. So you'll be saving money if you buy it today. If you click any link in the carousel, you're not buying it, you're just taking a closer look at it. Okay, so you can look at anything in the carousel, you get more information. I give you my views and an outline spec. You got the full views or full spec if you actually click the link in the carousel. So that's the Samsung Galaxy S22. You can tell it's my new favorite phone. This was my old favorite phone. Okay, so I've now got two phones. Okay, so that's the Samsung Galaxy S22. Right, now, basically, I can talk about anything that's in the carousel because I own it. I'm independent. I don't work for Amazon. I'm here to help you. And if you want any advice at all, then please do ask. Please do ask questions. That's what I'm here for. Okay, I'm here to help. Okay, or hopefully to be educational, informative, and entertaining as well. And just as a reminder, if you just joined me, I thank you for doing so. If you've been here a while, you get a bigger thank you. But your host is Stephen Healey from England. We're talking about live broadcasting. We've looked at Logitech Brio and the Samsung S22 mobile phone. I want to say thank you for watching and spending part of your day with me. And if you have any questions, then please do ask. Now, notice that every time I show that on screen, people disappear. Right, so thank you for staying. Right, okay, we're going on to our next item in the carousel. And the next item we're going to look at basically is a great gift, not only for yourself, but for anybody who is on Zoom. Okay, down in the carousel is the Logitech. Where's it gone? Oh, I've got it. Is the Logitech C920X camera. Okay, and this is the camera I had before I got Logitech Brio. This is it. Okay, and if I get it the right way up, right, I've got it the right way up now. So this camera, let's give you a few facts about it. Now, what I'm going to do is we'll have a quick look at the camera. Okay, so this is Logitech C920X down in the carousel as a featured item. The X stands for extra. In a couple of minutes, I'll tell you what the X means. There is something extra included with this camera. The camera itself is full 1080p at 30 frames per second. We talked about frames earlier. The more frames, the clearer the picture, and the same is true of it being 1080. That's industry standard. Looking at it, you've got the central lens, and then you've got twin omnidirectional microphones, which means that it can hear everything all around you. It's got HD light auto correction. Now, because this camera is not actually plugged in, I can't actually show you that. But when you get the camera, bring it out of the box, and it plugs directly into your PC or Mac using USB-A. Now, as far as the camera is concerned, you've got the ability to actually put it on your monitor, and you just pull that shelf down and it goes over your monitor. And in actual fact, I can show you that if I hide that, hide that, hide that. Okay, I've got so many things. Let's just look at the things I've got on my screen at the moment. I don't need that software. I can hide that. Okay, we've talked to the chickens, so we don't need the chickens anymore. So I can hide that. Okay, I've shown you that picture taken with the Samsung S22. And eventually we come back to me, and I'm looking here and I'm trying to find, okay, I'm trying to find my second camera. I know I put it somewhere. Just a minute. Just a minute. I've lost the camera. I didn't actually get rid of it, did I? Oh no. I'm going to have to do plan B in a minute. Really am have to go to plan B. Oh, wait a minute. I found it. Okay. Now with this second camera, what I can do is I can go to the monitor. Okay. And I'm going to go picture in picture. This is what I wanted to do in the first place. Okay. So here is the camera, and it goes on top of your monitor just like that. And it then looks directly at you. So you perch it on your monitor like that. Alternatively, what you can do is use the thread in the bottom to actually mount it on a tripod. Okay, so it's got versatile ways of actually being used. It's got HD light auto correction. Okay, take my word for that. And it also has advanced software, which I showed you earlier when we looked at the Brio. I showed you the Logitech Capture software. So that bit we've done. It's got low light correction, just to confirm that. And it's got a 78-degree field of view. Okay, 78 degrees. And what, I mean, this camera, this very camera, is actually getting on for 7 years old. I got this 7 years ago. When we all started broadcasting on Facebook Live all those years ago, we said we've got to have a better camera and a better microphone. And we killed two birds with one stone, because this has got the camera, it's got the microphone. And hundreds and then millions of people who went live on Facebook got this camera, and it became de facto the standard. And I know a lot of people still using this camera. And this camera, 6 years old, 7 years old, still works. And in fact, it goes on top of my my monitor over there. Okay, if I go out once, twice, its normal place to live is on top of that monitor. Okay, it just perched on top of that monitor. And I'm going to come back to me. Okay, so this was released. It's not 6 years old. The one down in the carousel, March 31st, 2020. And it actually includes 3 months of XSplit VCAM background removal. Now, if I stop that for a second, okay. I've got a green screen behind me. I've got a background over it. I cannot use green screen software because I'm on Amazon Live, and I need to be able to show you products without breaking the set. But I've been a user of background removal software since Jan 2019. This is the software I use. I've got an annual subscription, and I'm going to bring it up on screen. And without further ado, I'm going to show you how background removal works, irrespective of whose it is. Okay, so I'm going to switch my microphone off, press play, back in 2. In wonderful Wiltshire, England, and I'm here to give you an overview of XSplit VCAM, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now, the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for. when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself. And this is the XSplit VCAM program. Okay, now you notice the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing the button, and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so next step is to select a background to go in place, and you can do that just by clicking an image. You'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit VCAM is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image, and that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your